Hello everyone, my name is Seraphi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today we're going to play Tech Genus. Now Tech Genus is a fun deck. It's a synchro deck that has a lot of different monsters, and a lot of those monsters recover themselves or special summon themselves or special summon others. It's a very 5Ds era synchro deck, and it's a lot of fun. The gimmick of Tech Genus is that it allows you to synchro summon during the opponent's turn, which gives us a lot of options for monsters that have effects that activate on synchro summon that are usually limited to your turn. The skill is called Flight Control. Twice per duel, you can return Tech Genus monster from your hand to your deck, then draw any Tech Genus monster from your deck. During the turn you use the skill, you cannot special summon any level 10 or higher monsters except Tech Genus monsters. So that's great. You are required to only play Tech Genus monsters though. For the main deck, we have Screw Serpent. When this card is summoned, you target a level 4 or lower Tech Genus monster in your graveyard to special summon that monster, but its effects are negated. And you can banish this card from your graveyard to target a Tech Genus monster you control, increase or reduce its level by 1 until the end of the turn. Each effect is a hard once per turn. Screw Serpent is our boss monster, our main bread and butter. We combine this with Booster Raptor to get into our level 5s, and then we can use the effect again to just flood our board. You'll see this card a lot. Tech Genus Striker, this card is free. It's one of Bruto's level ups. Level 2 Warrior Tuner. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. That is not once per turn. They bounce it, you special summon it again. They destroy your cards, and you have this card in your hand, you special summon it again. You can keep special summoning Tech Genus Striker as long as you have no monsters. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field and sent there this turn, you can add a Tech Genus monster from your deck to your hand, except Striker. Fantastic. We need a level 2 tuner. This card works perfectly. Tech Genus Werewolf. When a level 4 or lower monster is special summoned, except during the damage step, on either player's field during either player's turn, you can special summon this card from your hand. This is one of the rare instances where you can special summon a monster during your opponent's turn going first. This is also not once per turn, so you can summon multiple werewolves, and you can use the same werewolf to summon after reviving it from the graveyard. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field and sent there this turn, you can add a Tech Genus monster from your deck to your hand, except werewolf. Great. Booster Raptor, if you control a Tech Genus monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Tech Genus Booster Raptor once per turn this way. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field and sent there this turn, you can add one TG monster from your deck to your hand, except Booster Raptor. So we need a level 1 to go with our Screw Serpent. This is a great card, and it allows us to easily make Synchro 5s. Tech Genus Catapult Dragon, level 2. Once per turn, you can special summon a level 3 or lower TG tuner from your hand. This card is very important for the combo. You'll see it in just a moment. Forbidden Lance. Target one face-up monster on the field until the end of the turn. That monster loses 800 attack points, but is unaffected by the other spells or traps. This is basically like the main card that synchro decks use. I play this in Speedroids as well. Because Speedroids rely on keeping their tuner monsters specifically face-up, Book of Moon is a dangerous card, so you just have to protect your tuners however you want. Fossil Dig, draw a level 6 or lower dinosaur monster. The only dinosaur in our deck is Booster Raptor, but that's great, we need it. And Fire Formation Tanky, draw a level 4 or lower Beast Warrior. Now remember, with the skill, either one of these cards basically gets you any Tech Genus that you want, because you can just shuffle it back and get whichever Tech Genus you want from your deck. So any search is good search. For the extra deck, we have Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. This requires a tuner and 2 or more non-tuners, so we make this with a level 5, and then the Werewolf and the Booster Raptor. When this card is synchro summoned, you can banish up to 1 card each from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. The card in the hand is chosen at random. This is a when effect, which means it can miss timing. So you need to make sure that if you use Star Guardian's effect during your opponent's main phase to summon Trishula, that you do it as the Chain Link 1. If you try and synchro summon it with Tech Genus Star Guardian in response to a card, like for example, your opponent playing Book of Moon on Star Guardian, you can still synchro summon, but the monster's effect, if it's a when effect, will not trigger when it's summoned. And that includes Trishula. So be careful about that. Crystron Quarianga Drax. This is a level 9 that requires 2 or more tuners and 1 non-tuner. So we make this with a level 5 plus Striker and Catapult Dragon. When Quarianga Drax is special summoned, you can target monsters your opponent controls and or in the graveyard up to the number of synchro materials used, which is 3. Banish them. If this synchro summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 banished monster from either player's banish zone and special summon it. This card is an if effect, not a when effect, which means that it will trigger even if it's a Chain Link 2. That makes it the best monster in our arsenal. Absolutely, if you are able to, you should go for setting a Quarianga Drax play on turn 1, if possible. Battle Wasp, Hammer the Conquering Bow. If this card was synchro summoned using a synchro monster as material, it can make a second attack each turn. Fantastic. So you make this with Star Guardian or Wonder Magician and Werewolf, and then you have a 2800 beater that can attack twice. Great. Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. It's a level 7. Monsters in your opponent's possession cannot activate their effects during the battle phase. This includes monsters in the graveyard and monsters in the hand. Great. We can turn off Orchist. We can turn off other annoying cards that trigger, like Yubel. Just turn them all off and then beat your opponent to death. Wonder Magician. If this card is synchro summoned, target one spell or trap on the field and destroy it. If this card on the field is destroyed, draw one card. Both of those effects are mandatory, by the way. During your opponent's main phase, you can, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. Great. So it's a level 5 tuner monster that can synchro summon during the opponent's turn. This card is not as good as the Star Guardian, but it's a good card for dealing with spells and traps, and it has high attack points, so you can use it to get lethal. Star Guardian, we are playing this at 2. Once per chain during your opponent's main phase, you can, as a quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. Fantastic. You can only use each of the following effects of Tech Genus Star Guardian once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can target a Tech Genus monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And during your main phase, you can special summon a Tech Genus monster from your hand. So it's basically like targeting a monster in your graveyard and special summoning it, but it allows you to use it with the skill. You can return a monster from your graveyard to your hand, then use the skill, change it to a different monster in the middle of your combo, then special summon that monster off of Star Guardian. So this card actually works very, very well with flight control. Very flexible. Black Rose Dragon, when this card is synchro summon, you can destroy all cards on the field. So this is a level 7, you can make it with your Star Guardian and your Catapult Dragon, or your Screw Serpent and your Werewolf. This is a when effect, so it misses timing, so make sure that you do it as a Chain Link 1. It also destroys itself, by the way. Alright, so that's the deck. Let's take a look at the replay. Okay, so we are going first against Shiranui. Now, we opened a hand that basically does nothing, but the good news is we have the skill. So we activate the skill, we're going to return one of our strikers to draw Werewolf. Normal summon the Catapult Dragon, and use its effect to special summon a level 2 tuner from our hand. Then we can activate Werewolf's effect since a level 4 lower monster was special summon, and special summon it. Synchro the 2 and the 3 into Star Guardian. Star Guardian effect, return the striker to the hand, and then use its effect to special summon it, and then we pass. It's our opponent's turn. They normal summon Squire, and they use its effect to special summon the Spectral Sword Shade from their deck. Then they activate their skill. They discard a card to draw the Ghost Meets Girl, a Shiranui Store. Now they're going to activate Spectral Sword's effect. They banish the Solitaire, which will allow them to special summon the Doomkaiser Dragon. Solitaire effect, bring back the Shiranui Spectral Sword. Then synchro summon with the Spectral Sword and the Squire into the Samurai Saga. Activate Ghost Meets Girl, discard the Mizuki, special summon the Samurai. Samurai effect, banish the Squire to give it 600 attack points. Squire effect, draw a card, discard a card. They're going to activate MST on the Forbidden Lance. We'll go ahead and Forbidden Lance our monster in response so that it doesn't be affected by spells or traps. Now they're going to link off. Link 3. Yukiona the Icicle Mayakashi. Yukiona the Icicle Mayakashi targets the Star Guardian to negate its effects. We'll chain to that. So now we can synchro summon using cards we control. We have a 5, a 2, and a 2, and 2 of the monsters are tuners. So we can go into our Crystron Quarianga Drax. And when Crystron Quarianga Drax is special summoned, we can go ahead and banish monsters the opponent controls up to the number of synchro materials for it, which is 3. We can also banish cards from the graveyard. So we banish the Yukiona, we banish the Spectral Sword Shade, and we're going to banish the Mizuki from the graveyard. That turns off the opponent's ability to do anything. Yukiona was not sent to the graveyard, which means they can't banish it to special summon monsters from the graveyard, and they're no longer able to set up a link summon for their Skill Saga Supremacy, which is how they typically try and summon from the Banish Zone. They activate their skill to return these cards and go into the normal Sun Saga, but they don't have any way to special summon from the Banish Zones. They pass to us. We draw a monster with 1,000 attack points, we normal summon it, and our opponent concedes. There you go. That's Tech Genus. That's the power of being able to synchro summon during your opponent's turn, set up cards like Black Rose Dragon, Crystron Quarianga Drax, or Trishula during the opponent's turn, remove their threats in the middle of their combo and just deny their ability to do anything. My name is Seraphi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.